But I would hope that in addition to dealing with a crisis, G20 can start organizing and helping the world economy and the world's people move together into the future. And that's really the test of how good a success it can be.
I think the biggest challenge, without doubt, is to achieve an integration between the economic goals, which is furthering innovation, trade, governance issues concerning economic integration on the one hand, and reducing social tensions, inequalities, getting more social integration on the other, and achieving environmental viability. So finding a space in which all these three, the economic, the environmental, and the social, can all be dealt with in a way that's complementary, that, I think, is the biggest challenge of this presidency.
High expectations. I think many people feel that this is the year that China will emerge. It will show that it is a global power by taking global leadership. And clearly it can't do that in absolutely every problem that the world faces. But if it can pick the 2 or 3 key areas in which it wants to make a difference, then it will be able to make a difference.
Key challenge to this summit that China is holding would be the ability of China to put a proposal that is at the same time innovative and acceptable. That being said, China is the second biggest economy in the world, and therefore its leadership role would be very important. So what I expect from this summit is, in one sentence, Chinese leadership to improve the quality of life in developing countries.
Somebody said this morning, it's going to be a success. The question is, how big a success will it be? And I think if we can see a Hangzhou summit that not only deals with some of the problems, but actually looks forward and says, here's how we're going to make sure that we move together and we move with good growth into the future, I think that will be a good result from Hangzhou. But I would hope that in addition to dealing with a crisis, G20 can start organizing and helping the world economy and the world's people move together into the future. And that's really the test of how good a success it can be.
The biggest challenge is the US election, if I want to be honest, because we have US elections in November. The G20 will be early September. And because the US is still the pillar of the global economy, China is becoming the second largest, most important economy. And so the key is to maintain the ability of the US to be a team player when it's so close to the US election.
Because it is a very difficult thing for China to show a kind of new idea, new philosophy, which could contribute to the world to move one step forward from the current global standard. It's a big challenge, but I think China is trying to do it through for example, establishment of AIIB or OBOR. And I think China needs to show the world what kind of philosophy, what kind of growth strategy China really needs to present to the global society to make sure that China is going to contribute to the inclusive growth.